There we are.
Guess what, guys?
What?
It's the finale.
That's
excited.
So fun. I'm so excited.
I'm super excited about that. But you know what else I'm excited about? And maybe a little scared.
Wait. Doesn't it feel close to your face?
Yikes. Oh yeah. Always. But I'm super excited about, and Brian, I'm sure you're ecstatic. This study at Mount Sinai about the Apple Watch and COVID-19.
I haven't seen it. School me.
So the lovely folks at Mount Sinai, big shout out. I have 2 friends studying there. Shout out to Marcus and Sarita. They did a study where I don't remember the interval of accuracy or the confidence level, so stats people don't at me, but Apple Watches can accurately detect if you have COVID-19 based on the biomarkers they're tracking without you getting a test. It's almost confirming test results. So I don't know what kind of magic your friends at Apple are doing over there with those watches, but
was there an article?
Yeah. I can send it privately to you guys. It's just one study, right? So it hasn't been, peer reviewed or replicated.
That's enough for me.
I understand how the scientific community works, but it's a good and interesting indication in terms of early signs of one, what the tech can do, and 2, getting people diagnosed maybe quicker, sooner, and cheaply.
Does this bring you any closer to the Apple side?
What the thing is for me. This isn't it. But I'm actually not even wearing my fitness tracker right now. But normally I wear the Amazon fitness tracker, the Halo, and I'm a huge fan of that.
Never heard of it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's in beta. It's It's invite only. It's primero exclusivo. Okay.
Yeah. See. And that ain't German.
Wow, that's so cool. That's exciting.
Look at Jay Breath back in the place. Welcome back.
Oh, hello.
I love it. It's been a while.
One of the OGs.
Yeah, from season 1, I think.
Yeah, all the way back.
I have a VC question for you today. As an investor, actually, I'll ask you as an investor and as founders, what do you wear to your first pitch meeting? 1, assuming it's in person. So COVID restrictions lifted.
There might be a gender difference here, I'm sure. Do you want to go first, Candace? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always dressed up for my first investor meeting. Yeah, I would say that unfortunately, women are held to a different standard. And so I dress up, and that typically includes a dress for me because that's what I feel comfortable in. And I can't think of a single investor meeting I've gone to without heels on. Now I have not, but I'm also my age. I think you go in whatever you feel most comfortable in. And I would say that business casual is probably the best idea. But it's whatever you feel comfortable in.
Brian?
For me, it's always business up top and party down below, right? So wear jeans, always wear jeans. Do not wear a full suit. That's just weird.
Oh no, the full suit makes me feel weird.
Yeah, don't do that. But you can wear dress shirt. You wear a jacket and jeans, but just don't go full suit. Also, if they're coming to you or you're going to them, does matter. So maybe jacket if you're going to their office. But if they're coming to your office, you should actually dress, I think, a little more casual or the way you would dress every day. They want to see you in your environment. They're coming to your office for that very reason, right? So don't have all the employees dress up that one day, or don't try to, be different, right? Just be yourselves, dress the way you would normally dress, but within reason. And I think investors appreciate that when they visit your office.
That's a hard one, Lexi, because like, I feel as if the first meeting shouldn't be very formal. So I think it depends on where you're meeting them. So if it's at a coffee shop, like dress like the coffee shop, right? If it's at their office, yeah, dress like the office.
Lexi, what did I have on the day that you came to the office in Miami?
I was just trying to remember. I think you had on, actually, I know what you had on because we all were wearing black. You were wearing the Brian fit. You were wearing a black top, denim, and your black sneakers with white soles. It was the signature Brian look.
Wow.
For those of you who don't see him on a regular basis, he has a signature. I don't know if it's Jobsian. I don't know if that's where it comes from, but
Jobsian.
that's a wardrobe. He sticks to it. And so I asked the question, and I think also, like, I think my answer is totally different than both of your answers. I think my answer is it's 100% investor dependent. I don't think there's a standard answer, which is kind of sad because I think that's confusing to founders. But, I think if I'm meeting some oil and gas angel in Texas, I'm wearing a suit. I'm wearing the whole suit. But I think if I'm meeting, some VC in Cambridge, I'm probably wearing jeans, a t-shirt, and a blazer.
Yeah, I think I'm giving you a Midwest answer. Yeah, and I think in San Francisco, you wear whatever you want, right? Like there are no rules. I think in the Midwest,
there are rules in San Francisco. The rules are it has to look like you didn't think about your outfit.
Very true. And I would say in the South, they're probably a little bit dressier. So yeah, I think it really depends. And in New York, you probably need to be fly. Yeah,
fly, but casual.
Yes, it costs a lot, but don't let anybody know. Yeah, yeah. Now we're gonna get hate mail. So that's all my bias showing from coast to coast.
No, I think it's absolutely. I think it's true, right? I want our founders to be in the best position to really get the capital and avoid these little, first impression, little biasy things that pop up. So sometimes we have to set ourselves up for success, and there's no clear guide that says what to wear. And so the second part of this question, quickly, because I'm sure Marlon wants us to start soon, and it's a big question. What do you do about your hair for those of us who have it?
Oh, you wear that hair however you want to.
Cut it all off. That's the answer for everybody.
Yeah, you wear it however you want to. Just a consequence of the way I was raised. And this is an unfortunate truth. So my mother started putting a relaxer in my hair when I was like 2 or 3 years old, which is very unfortunate. So for me, growing up, I always felt best when I straightened my hair. And so I've always done that. That just means that that's what I've done. It does not mean that it's right. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more comfortable with my curly hair. And so people are always surprised that it exists under this straight hair. So I usually surprise them with it after. But my first meeting is usually straight hair for me. I know that's an unfortunate truth.
Very interesting. Yeah, I tend to do the opposite.
You hit them with right away.
I tend to, I want you to listen, 90% of the time, what you're going to see with me is this. Sometimes you'll get a cute straight wig, but most of the time you're going to see some poof and some curl and some texture. But it is what it is. And this is me in its full form. And I do that intentionally because, Candace, I too grew up with a parent with similar philosophies and neo-colonialist views on beauty and hair. So as I aged, it became an intentional part of me getting ready in spaces. in most spaces. There are a few exceptions, political spaces, but I don't really lobby anymore, so that's great. Yeah, I want you to know, like, I'm here and this is it. This is what you're getting.
On
Yeah,
our folks,
confuses people every time. So sometimes, like, if I come curly versus straight, some people may not even recognize me that second, third time. Like, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm still Candace. You see, like, same girl, different hair.
I think that first time we met Lexi, well, we knew Lexi, but met her in person for this role. I think she showed up as herself the first time.
Yeah, yellow polka dot dress.
Why does everyone remember this? I still have that dress. I'm going to wear it next time I'm down there.
Yes. I liked it. I thought it was cute.
I have a very, in my personal wardrobe, like outside of work, I guess even now too, I'm a big lover of polka dots. Anything vintage and polka dots, that's my daytime wardrobe in sunny, warm places.
Yeah.
Shall we start?
Is it time?
Yeah,
I'm
Ron hasn't told us we're ready to rock and roll, but I feel like it's time. Ron, can we?
I think it's time.
Yeah, we got 3 companies.
We're a company and a venture capital firm that invests in companies run by women and minorities, particularly when they're away from the coasts. I'm very, very focused on the Midwest. You are watching live the first pitch competition on Twitch, where you, the viewer, have an opportunity to vote for companies that you like best.
So every episode, we have 3 judges, plus you, the audience. You also get to judge each pitch. After each presentation, you'll see a cute little box pop up with a Twitter link for you to vote for if you would invest in the company yourselves.
During round 1, we watched as the startups presented their pitch deck in 5 minutes or less. Then the judges began their Q&A. After we selected viewer-submitted questions for the founders to answer, in the end, the audience and judges had the opportunity to vote in the poll below for the company they like best.
Candace, do you mind if we start?
Oh, sure. Sorry.
I like that.
I did too.
Yeah, it was all color for the finale.
Very nice. So, welcome back, everybody. This is it. Cue Michael Jackson. This is the grand finale of season 4 of Twitch Pitch. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited too. So as a reminder for everyone who's new, welcome, hello. This is Twitch Pitch, the very first pitch competition here on Twitch, brought to you by the very first venture capital team, us here at Lightship Capital, to be on Twitch. We're very excited. As a quick recap, what you've seen over the past few weeks is 12 companies competing head-to-head for a slot to be here right now tonight. Tonight, we're going to see the 3 best companies that presented all season, that got the most votes from the judges and the audience, and we're going to see them compete head-to-head for the big grand prize of $25,000. We're going to announce the winner right here, live on air. So stay tuned. Keep watching all night, folks. It's going to be great. So we have to thank everyone who helped put this show on. So thank you so much to our lead sponsor this season, JPMorgan Chase. JPMorgan is a global leader in financial services, offering solutions to the world's most important corporations, governments, and institutions in over 100 countries. We also want to thank the Ohio Third Frontier. The OTF works with innovative startup companies across the state, making Ohio the destination for the best tech entrepreneurs. This robust network of resources helps take advanced ideas and turn them into new tech businesses. And my favorite sponsor is the Hillman Accelerator. Hillman is the very first accelerator created here in the Midwest for underrepresented founders. And it just happens to be created and executive directed by this lovely over here. Oh, she did it in the other place this time. It's fine.
I couldn't remember where my finger. There it is. Oh, shoot.
always keeping things spicy. Candace.
Why play video games that are in like 3D? It doesn't work for me.
You did a great job. You did a great job. So she's hilarious. She's lovable. She's Candace Matthews-Brackeen. She is the founder and executive director of the Hillman Accelerator, and she is the co-founder and co-GP of Lightship Capital. She is an expert in all things brand building, CPG, and e-commerce related. And so I really can't wait to hear some of her feedback tonight. And she's really the person you need to impress companies tonight, hint, hint, wink, wink, in terms of getting this grand prize. So really excited to see some of her commentary tonight, since we have technically all three are packaged goods, quasi-technically, right?
Yeah. That one is a medical device.
A medical device, but you know, it's hardware. How about that?
There we go. I'll give you that.
And then on the left side of me, we're flipped, so I'm going to go this way. We have Brian Brackeen. Brian is the other co-founder and GP of Lightship Capital, and he is our resident AI, machine learning, and computer vision expert. And we're really excited to hear his feedback too. And that's the team. Oh, then there's me. Hi, I'm Lexi. I lead the investment team for the fund, and I love all things healthcare and health tech. So really excited to see all three companies tonight. So once again, this is the finale. So folks, here's what's going to happen. We're going to meet each company again. We're going to see a little product demo, maybe a little product experience. As you're watching it, continue to put your comments and questions in the comment box below from wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, or somewhere else. Throw your comment and all of your questions in the box below you. I will make sure that your questions are read on screen to the team. Any information is great to help you make your decision tonight and help us make our decisions tonight. So as a reminder, everyone gets a vote. The audience has a vote. I have a vote, Brian has a vote, and our chairwoman in chief, Candace, has 2 votes. So all of those votes will be put together to help us decide who is going to take home the big money. So I think we have all the rules. We can't wait to get started. Let's bring on our first finalist of the night.
Nervous. I'm nervous.
The team from Cocina 54.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome back.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting.
Oh my goodness, the magic happening in the kitchen.
I know. Well, I needed to get ready to do the product demo and everything. So
I love it. I love it. So fun.
And that was quite an intro. Like I felt really important. Thank you so much.
You are really important.
So we're so excited. But before you get started, Cecilia, remind the folks at home who are watching, who may have missed your episode, who you are.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Cecilia, co-founder of Cocina 54 Empanadas. We make delicious gluten-free frozen empanadas, bringing a convenient product that fits consumers' busy lifestyle and their search for bold international flavor. We have 4 different SKUs. One is traditional beef, chicken and peppers, spicy beef, and spinach and cheese. They come frozen. This is like just one so you guys can take a look at. And we put them in the microwave for 90 seconds and they are ready to enjoy. So this is a little bit of who we are. We have grown a lot as a company. We started at HEB with 110 stores here in Texas. And today we are in over 800 stores, from the Northeast at Wegmans to the Pacific Northwest at Fred Meyer's, Central Markets. We have grown a lot. We are a profitable business, so that's quite a difference from a lot of CPG brands out there. And we have been self-funded. We have tremendous opportunity to grow this year. We are starting at Target in a couple of months. We just launched at GoPuff last week. And we have had our best month ever at last January. So we are pretty excited right now.
Excellent. So exciting. Team, would you like to ask any additional questions? Also, everyone watching, this is a great time to think of some questions and some comments for Cecilia and ask away.
Yeah, Cecilia, can you dig in a little bit more about business development and how your team is attacking finding new locations?
Finding new locations or product development?
Product development, yeah.
Product development or business development? I'm sorry.
Business development.
Business development. Okay, so I have been in the industry for over 15 years, and I have started at Stubbs Barbecue that was later sold to McCormick, Nestle too, and so I have built a very strong network of different resources from brokers to distributors, and we have been really strategic in terms of who to partner with. We have selected, like, HEB was a great partner for us and is today. Wegmans the same. And as we continue to grow, we work with the different retailers. It's basically Federico, that it's the other co-founder, and myself. We go and present to the retailers. We have found that retailers really want us to be telling the story, as the same as consumers. They want us to be telling the story because it is our story of two immigrants making empanadas the way they used to make them at home, and sharing that story is so important. So in terms of where do we go next, we have worked with very strategic retailers, and we continue to make sure that we grow into those retailers versus like, let's go nationwide. And we had to have done that because being self-funded, we needed to make sure that each account that we go, we conquer, and we make sure that that consumer knows who we are and really build that loyalty from the base up.
Perfect.
I have a question that other founders may want to hear from you as well. In the very, very beginning, did you decide not to raise venture capital and to bootstrap, or was it just that you were forced to bootstrap because you weren't able to raise capital because of all the usual issues around bias and whatnot?
Yeah, so we actually had to, we decided to, let's go out there and let's raise money. And we realized that it wasn't that easy. It could be for a different sort of reasons. Some of them, it has to be with diversity and being an immigrants and first generation immigrants. So we had always our plan A if we raise capital, and we had our plan B if we don't raise capital. And it ended up happening that we had to actually say no to a couple of big retailers that wanted us, but they wanted like big checks for slotting. And we're like, I wish I could do that, but we can't. We are going to have to pace ourselves the way we grow, because with the current capital that we have, we need to invest that into increasing the velocity, into getting consumers to know us versus like going and paying big checks to all the different retailers. And then I wouldn't have money to actually then bring the velocities and do all the trade marketing things that we need to do.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cecilia, you touched on this last time, but could you remind us all about what's coming next in terms of product development for the brand?
Yes. So we have 3 different lines that we are actually planning to launch. One of them, in the last 2 years, we have done our fair share of demos, and we have listened to what the customer had to say. And they want out to our customer convenience. It's most important during breakfast. So we are launching a breakfast line because they really want that grab and go item, something that they can microwave, that it's like has the protein that they need. The second thing that we learned about our customer, that was that 95% of them use a sauce or a salsa when consuming our empanadas. And we actually have been doing demos with our own chimichurri sauce, and they loved it. And so we are launching a chimichurri line. And the third one, I don't have to tell you about plant-based numbers growing and consumers really looking for better for you vegetarian options. But they also want flavor. When they try our spinach and cheese one, they are like, this is amazing. And the main reason why our products taste the way they taste is because we make them from scratch. We use all fresh vegetables. We use antibiotic-free meats, and we just saute them with olive oil and bake them. So it's very different to use like a pre-processed chicken or pre-blanched onions. We truly do everything from scratch, and that brings a product that is different. So in terms of product development, we have those 3 lines that are ready to go. We are actually doing this packaging design this week.
Excellent. We love that. So let's start with a couple of questions from the audience tonight. We have Infinitely Jestful, who has a very big question that all of you, unfortunately, have to deal with. How have you felt about being an underrepresented founder has been in terms of raising capital in an overwhelmingly white industry where VCs tend to focus on white men launching trend-based businesses on the coasts?
Is that for me? That's a big question. I'll do my best. So I think that from the very beginning, it was hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I actually had someone just say, like, I can't understand anything you're saying, and or people being just disrespectful. And I think that it hurts, like, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And here we are 3 years later with a booming product that we have grown tremendously. And I think that we are going to find the right partner. I think there are a lot of people out there, and there are a lot of amazing people doing the right thing. And there are a lot of people that are just gonna be stuck 10 years from now. They are still stuck there. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. We can just show them that we can do better, that even with an accent, you can be very smart, very intelligent, and you can succeed. And I think that, to me, that is the strongest thing that I can do, and what I keep trying to do, and what I keep trying to be an example for my daughters, that it doesn't matter if you're a girl, it doesn't matter. We have 2 girls, so it doesn't matter if you're a girl, it doesn't matter if you have an accent. It is you gotta own it and be who you are. And I think Lexi was like, I have pocket dots, and this is who I am. And I think that it is when we are meeting, it's just trying to be ourselves and trying to be out there and being ourselves as much as we can. But yes, it has been difficult, and I think that there is no other thing to say. It's just it is more difficult for us than for other people.
Cecilia, I would pay for my Spanish to be as good as your English, just for the record. I would pay someone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Here for authenticity. 3 cheers for that, honestly. And Constababble, did I say that right? I don't know. Have you found that there is much pressure for food brands to cater to dietary requirements like gluten-free or vegan in their range?
I don't know if pressure. I think that we are all trying to do our best to change the food ecosystem. And so if we can try to make products that are healthier, then the better. When I always say that we are a heritage inspired brand, and the reason that I say that is because we did make changes to our own recipe. My grandma used to make her empanadas and add a spoon of sugar, and I was like, no, we don't need to add sugar. We can evolve from that. And the same with when a co-packer comes and says oh, we can save money pre-cooking the chicken, or blanching onions, or buying frozen onions. And I said that's not the product. That is not what I want to serve. So I think that there is pressure, but I think that it's coming in the right time. That's what we want. We want to make the right changes, and we want to offer products that are convenient, because we are busy. This is for us, we really have enjoyed a lot of the COVID has allowed us to gain a lot of trial, because consumers have 30 minutes in between different meetings and calls, and they are grabbing empanadas. This is the product that they can trust. And I think that to us, it's just really I at least for us, it's always been a blessing to be forced to think better on what can we do better as a product, and we are always trying to think what else can we do. But those are the decisions that we had to make, made from scratch, gluten-free, just baked, not fried. So all those decisions, I think that in the end, it's creating a better food ecosystem.
Excellent. And one last question. Since you have 15 years of experience in CPG and at Nestle, how do you feel that you compete against other brands like Sweet Earth or Goya?
I think we actually looked at SPIN's data for that, and we looked at our growth. This is SPIN's data as of August of last year. We haven't been able to get new data, but as of August of last year, we have grown 140% versus a year ago, and we had only spent 2.6% on trade spend. If you look at Sweet Earth, they actually are not, for the same time period, they didn't grow, and they spent 30% on trade spend. So the way I'm reading all this information is like, our tribe is stronger. We like Sweet Earth, it might cater to vegan, more of a vegan population, and it's growing, but it's not the mainstream that we are trying to target. We are trying to really connect with mainstream consumers. Goya, it's a brand that is authentic, but it's very, very traditional. There is no innovation there. There is no vibe. There is no brand vitality. And so I think that's when you look at the different brands out there, I think that our brand has this amazing mix that gets me always so excited about. It's a little bit of passion. It's authentic because it has us talking with this accent, and it has flavor, and it's convenient, and it's also better for you. So the other brands don't have that mix.
Excellent. Thank you so much again, Cecilia. Thank you so much for everything you've done on the show. We're so excited. For those of you who would like to vote for this company as your pick to win the $25,000 grand prize, all you have to do is text the number 1 to 203-408-6432. Once again, you can text the number 1 to 203-408-6432. Voting is open throughout the duration this first part of the show, and then we're going to close it so we can announce the winner at the end of the episode after we also deliberate as judges. So thank you again, Cecilia. It's been a pleasure as always, and we're excited to find out who won soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Judges, comments.
I mean, it's just going to be a hard night. And I know already, the limiting factor today is the fact that, we can't give out 2 $25,000 checks. Let's just start there. So that's the limiting factor tonight. It's not, or 3, right? The limiting factor is we can only write 1 check. But these are all investable companies. We know TheraB just raised $600K, right? We know they're off to the races. And so, yeah, I don't have anything huge to add other than I don't know if we knew about the GoPuff relationship, so that sounds new, or maybe it just wasn't in the deck last time.
Yeah, it was coming, but now it's there.
It was coming. I don't know. I think I just picked up a few more things as far as the depth of the company that I didn't hear before. I really enjoyed Cecilia.
Brian?
She's a rock star, and she doesn't complain about anything. She just gets it done, and I love that. You love that in a founder. Grit is probably one of the number 1 keys to success is founder grit. And I think that she's got that. She got a product. She got standards. She's not changing her standards. She's not lowering her standards. She's just going to kill it by looking out for the customer. I mean, it's there isn't anything she said today that I would change. Literally, there's nothing. There was no answer that she gave today that I would change.
And just folks, since taste of vision and smell of vision isn't real, I can attest that I have had the product at this point. I don't know if I had it when she was first on the show, but it's delicious. It's actually delicious. Actually does reheat very well. highly recommend if you live in one of the regions where you can find it at Wegmans, H-E-B, some convenience locations. Fantastic.
Awesome.
That's exciting. So with that, we are going to move on to our next finalist, which is, drum roll, the team from TheraB Medical, featuring Alexa and someone new, Sam.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, hello.
Okay.
How are you guys doing?
Hello,
Pretty
we are great. So welcome back, Alexa and
you.
Sam. Hello, welcome to the show. No
Thank
pressure. So, Alexa, please remind the audience, for those who may have missed your episode, who you are and what you're building, and then we'd love to get into the demo.
Yeah, perfect. We have an awesome demo for you guys today. We're a physical product company, which is awesome. So my name is Alexa. I'm the founder and CEO of TheraB Medical, and this is Sam Hansen. She's our director of marketing. TheraB Medical is a med device company that's the creator of Snuglet, which is the first completely wearable and portable treatment for infant jaundice. Jaundice is a condition that affects over 60% of all newborn babies. And even though that seems like it's common, it actually is really dangerous. And it can cause brain damage, cerebral palsy, or even death if it's not treated within the first 2 weeks of life. About 2.5 million babies in the US are born with jaundice every year, and over 78 million babies are born globally with jaundice every single year. So it's a big problem. Currently, jaundice is treated with what's called phototherapy, where a direct exposure of blue light is exposed to the infant's skin. And hospitals are using outdated products right now. So they essentially look like little mini baby tanning beds, where the baby is laying down, the light's over top of them with a light underneath it on their back. And they're essentially in this little unit and separated from their mother throughout the duration of treatment. As you can imagine, this is less than ideal for pretty much everyone involved, meaning mom, dad, the baby itself, nurses, and doctors. So we're excited to show you our product today, which is called Snuglet. Sam's doing the demo. She has the prototype. Snuglet is the first completely wearable and portable solution for infant jaundice. If you can just click the light on Sam, it provides the blue light phototherapy that I mentioned, 360 degrees around the baby's body, and it's actually on the inside of the baby swaddle. We've worked with over 250 moms, nurses, and doctors to create this product because we really wanted to create a product for the modern family, not just another jaundice cure product like the ones that you see in hospitals today. Unlike the current treatment, Snuglet provides blue light phototherapy all the way around the baby's body. And this is important because the more skin you cover, the faster jaundice is treated. And if you recall earlier, I said that all the dangerous things that can happen if it's not treated quickly, it's super important to parents and doctors, of course, that the jaundice levels are decreased as fast as possible. Snuglet is battery powered, and so it's perfect for both hospital use and home care use. And so it fosters maternal infant bonding and breastfeeding without taking the baby out of the light therapy, which is really important. And we have an intuitive design, which essentially means that it's easy to use for parents, and it's soft and comfy and stretchy for the babies to be swaddled in the device for about 3 to 7 days. Our goal at TheraB is to give mom and baby the same bonding experience that they would have if the baby did not have jaundice. And a swaddled baby, of course, is a happy baby compared to a baby shining with light shining in their face. And it's also important to mention that Snuglet has the potential to decrease hospital stays and decrease the readmission of newborns. And jaundice is the #1 reason why babies are readmitted to the hospital. Right now, we're in the final stages of product development, and we plan to be in the market in India and the US by 2022.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Alexa. And
Thank you.
Sam. Thank you.
Yeah, the product demo means so much. And being able to see it, I know that we've talked a few times, Alexa, and seeing it in motion is a huge deal.
It makes such a big difference actually being able to see what we're talking about, especially with something like this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lexi, I'm sorry, I stole your line.
I was just saying thank you because, especially for Sam's first time being on the show, unexpectedly, you did a fantastic job.
Well, thank you.
Very fine, Savannah White. Very fine.
I was literally just going to say that. I told her to just.
Yeah. I was trying.
Awesome. So, Lexi, is it my turn to ask a question?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, things I don't remember from last time. A question about reuse. So, is this a reusable system? Is that the goal for it to be reusable, or is this a one-time use unit?
So it's both. Sam, if you could hold up, maybe you could open it and show us. So the swaddle itself is disposable. And we did that on purpose because, as you know, babies poop and puke and they're just messy. And so nurses didn't want to have to deal with cleaning this or washing it. So the light pad actually slides in. And you don't have to pull it all the way out, Sam, but you can kind of see how it slides in there. So the swaddle is something that you would take off and throw away, and the light pad and the battery itself is a reusable, regular hospital product that they would keep in their storeroom, and they could use it like one baby today and another baby tomorrow if that's what they want to do.
So then my question is, like, as a hospital, I guess it depends on birth rates of that hospital potentially. How are you deciding what sales need to look like into a hospital system?
So we have a pretty good idea of how many devices they currently have. And by devices, I mean like old school, traditional phototherapy. Yeah, so depending on how many births they have. Like, for example, one of the hospitals in India that we're working with has like 7,000 babies a day because it's huge and it's an urban hospital. They would probably have far more than a hospital in Ann Arbor that might have like 25 or 30 phototherapy devices. So we've been modeling our projections based on that. Not every hospital will buy, say, 25 Snuglets at one time to replace all of their products. So we're just modeling it based on hospital size, location, country, birth rate.
And how is testing going? And can you remind me of kind of like what your testing process has been so far?
Yeah, so phototherapy itself is just visible light. So that's a good thing because it's an existing treatment method. And so we're not reinventing the wheel in that sense. So all of our testing is around safety of using modern LEDs to be able to deliver that light. We know that phototherapy works, but we're showing that our product with these LEDs is able to safely deliver that light. And we have a number of standards tests that we have to perform for the FDA to be able to prove that we're equivalent to another product that does the same treatment. And so we have about, I would say, 4 to 5 months left of product manufacturing setup, those types of activities. And then we'll be performing our final safety tests, which we submit to the FDA. But right now, along the way, we're doing safety tests pretty much every day. I mean, it's with the light pad is one piece, the swaddle is another piece. As you can imagine, 2 totally different things when you're considering safety and comfort. But we're looking at both of those every single day, with safety being our number one concern.
Perfect.
Well,
Ryan?
I just want to echo what Kenna said. Seeing it in person changes everything. I remember your pitch before very well, and actually you did very well, which is why you're on the final, right?
Thank you.
And yet seeing it takes it to like a completely different level. And it was a good pitch the first time. So yeah, this is super helpful for me. I wanted to probably better understand the growth trajectory from here. So everybody has a list of things that, man, if I could just have this person or this thing or this whatever, I could do X, Y, Z. What is that for you? And what impact would it have?
So other than having people that want to fund medical devices, which is kind of a given, I think that finding someone or a partner company to help us scale throughout the US and potentially other markets, it would be the number one thing. We've had lots of interest from hospital systems and individual nurses and even midwives throughout development. And we plan on having Snuglet be in those hospitals within our first year of sales, but to be able to scale to all 4,000 to 5,000 hospitals that could buy this product, we really need a partner to help us do that, because it's impossible for a startup to send individual sales reps to all of those hospitals at one time.
And I'm going to steal Alexia line, but if there's someone out there that can help you with that, how would they get in contact with you?
They could get in contact with us on our website at therabmedical.com or by emailing me directly at alexa.jones@therabmedical.com. And it's Alexa like Amazon.
Got it.
Everyone should be able to spell it Alexa at this point.
By now, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Alexa. So as a reminder, people, as you're watching this, think about some questions and throw them in the comments. For those of you who already have questions for Alexa, thank you. I'll get to them in just 1 second. So Alexa, do you have any competitors outside of traditional phototherapy? Does anything else exist outside of that treatment?
So there's no other swaddle product. There are other phototherapy products. Like the mainstream ones are GE and Philips. And then there's a few other startups that are tackling phototherapy, but they're not wearable products that are focusing on kind of the mother-baby relationship like we are. So I guess the answer is yes and no. There's always a competitor, but there's nothing that's directly similar to what we're doing.
Excellent, thank you. I'll get started with some of the audience questions. So Constable wants to know, can this be used within the closed isolate of a premature baby?
So our target market is not babies that have a bunch of lines in them. So we're not talking about like teeny tiny 1 or 2 pound babies that have a bunch of other problems, just because the nurse has to have line of sight to all of those leads. And so you wouldn't want to wrap them up in a swaddle. We're primarily looking at either premature or full-term babies that don't have that issue. So I guess the answer is probably not, but I guess if you wanted to use it on a premature baby for a short period outside of that, that's something that the nurse would be able to decide, but not as a full-term treatment solution when there's a bunch of leads.
Great. Do you have a minimum size of child?
Good question. We've been talking about this a lot lately because obviously they range so much, and we're targeting kind of the middle upper percentiles, I guess you could say. So I think we're at 4.5 to 5 pounds to 10 pounds being, the high end.
Great. And then Jay Brath wants to know, what's the price point of each unit? What's the end game for the product? And will this be ordered by hospitals and not home users? So 3 separate questions there.
Yeah.
Tackle them in the order you wish.
Yeah. So the price point, it's $3,500 per unit for the swaddle itself, and $3,500 for the light unit, $10 per swaddle. The end game of the products, of course, for the swaddle, you throw them away as you use them. And we are considering eco-friendly materials, by the way. And the light unit itself would have a lifespan for the lights. And then at that point, we would recollect it back and they would have a new product. And this is not a consumer product. Like a parent or family with a baby with jaundice wouldn't have to spend $3,500 to have this. It's the hospital that's buying the product. So I guess the consumer aspect, you could say, is the family finds out about us and they're pregnant and they end up having jaundice. They could request that their physician look into this product, and then they could use the product with their baby. But no one would ever have to spend this much money to use this product. The buyer of the product is the hospital or a home care distribution company. And I guess the one part of the question was about home users. So the home care rental market is a secondary market for us. So that would mean you leave the hospital, you go to a rental company, you pick it up, you go home, and then after a week you take it back when your treatment's completed.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I think those are all the questions. Oh, one more. What do you see as the main reason that hospitals will be compelled to purchase if their current lab systems serve the purpose for babies of all sizes?
So there's a few answers to that question. We've had nurses reach out to us trying to buy the product already, and they've had varying reasons for that. Some hospitals actually don't have nurseries at all anymore. The nursery is the room where all of the babies would be at any given point. And so these hospitals have like what they call a baby-friendly initiative or focus. And so for these hospitals, it's pretty clear that this product fits into that initiative. And even if it means spending more or replacing an old product that can't be used on a small population of preemies, they're willing to do that because of the experience for the baby and the family. And then the other reason, if it's a hospital that doesn't necessarily have that baby-friendly focus, we found that nurses are still really excited about having the baby be swaddled up and comfy and not screaming in isolate, because it's just stressful, to be honest. It's stressful for the parents, especially first-time parents, to see their baby upset. It's stressful for nurses to have to be managing the parents, making sure that they're keeping the baby under the lights. And of course, it's bad for the baby as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just about having a baby-friendly initiative hospital. It's just overall a better experience for the majority of patients that are undergoing this treatment. And we found that's the primary reason why these hospitals are interested in replacing their current products with ours.
Excellent. Thank you so much for all of those responses. To everyone watching, if you would vote for TheraB Medical as your vote to win the grand prize tonight, text the number 2 to 203-408-6432. Once again, for TheraB, text the number 2 to 203-408-6432. Thank you so much, Alexa.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Candace.
I am constantly in awe of founders who start really like medical device companies or diagnostic companies, and they aren't necessarily the person who is technical. So I think I kind of remember from Alexa's background, like that this wasn't necessarily her space before. Is that right, Alexis?
Is that right, Alexa? Let me know in the private chat. I think this started as an engineering thesis for her.
Did it? Okay. Well, anyway, maybe
I could be wrong. Alexa, tell me if I'm wrong in the private chat.
Okay.
Aha, engineering product. Yes.
Okay, my bad. So very, very technical. Yes, I wasn't assuming. I just, for some reason, got it all mixed up. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about her that is incredible. She's just been chugging along at this company for a few years and didn't take no for an answer at any point and said, I'm going to fix this issue. And she's absolutely right. You shouldn't put a baby in a tanning bed. Like, you just shouldn't, right? It's not the right thing to do. Babies aren't cattle. They deserve to like not come out and just be laid out and cold. Like, that's just not a thing. So the fact that she's solving this for parents to put their minds at ease, no one wants to hear their baby screaming at the hospital. It's a terrible situation. And I really am proud of her for doing this. And it was really cool to see the device for the first time.
So,
Brian?
Mark Andreessen wrote a blog post last year about funding things that matter and not just all investors funding SaaS B2B companies over and over and over again. This is kind of what he's talking about. Like, this should be a category that people are spending more time, attention, and investment in. And you heard her ask, you heard her need. People get scared of hardware. You know, like Cindy, you know the history and the why. I mean, it's expensive. It takes time. But these are the important, very important problems we need solved globally. And so hopefully, as Barack Obama's asked VCs as well to be like a force for good, they start to kind of focus on areas like this. I know we do.
I absolutely agree. And just to clarify for everyone in the audience, so Alexa's background is in biomedical engineering specifically. So she is plenty qualified and plenty technical.
She didn't have any babies yet. That was what I remember. It doesn't matter though. I started a mom and baby fitness companies before I had any children.
See, there you go. She knows how to build product. Once again, I agree with both of you founders. If you can, and I know sometimes it's difficult, any sort of video clips, mock-ups, like really detailed photos of product that you can add into your pitch decks early on is immensely helpful to investors. Even prior to your first actual meeting with them, it really means a lot to be able to see something in real time, especially moving or in color. Really helpful in terms of understanding what's going on there. So I agree, it's a great product. I'm really excited to see where this goes next. I just want to give one quick shout out before we move on to our next company. Thank you so much to the Wilson Adaptive team that are watching this episode. We love that team so much. For those of you who've been watching all season, you absolutely remember Ron, Dr. Jared, their team and their story. We're so excited that they're watching this episode today. Hello. You're fantastic. And
they're a big crowd favorite too, right?
They absolutely huge crowd fan favorite of the season. So we're excited for you too. And so with that, we're going to move on to our final finalist of the minute. The moment we've all been waiting for. So we are going to see our third finalist tonight, and that is the team from Young King Hair Care. Bring on Cora, and I think Stefan's here too. Cora and Stefan, if not, just Cora.
Hello, everyone.
Let me come again.
I let him crash.
That's very kind of you. Let him come.
Welcome. So for those who may have missed your episode, take a few seconds and just remind everyone at home who you are and what you've built.
Absolutely. So my name is Cora. This is Stefan. We are the founders of Young King Hair Care, which is the first multicultural beauty and wellness brand for young men. We were inspired by our son after realizing that there weren't any products that currently exist in the market that are tailored for young boys of color. And so went on this entrepreneurial journey to create products fit for any young king. We launched in December 2019, and in just one short year, we have gained retail distribution across 2 national retailers and have a 5-product portfolio line, which my husband will demonstrate for you all. I would have had our son on here, but he wasn't feeling it this evening, so we had to put him away.
And I don't have either, so.
But we launched with 3 initial products. We have our leave-in conditioner, our essential oils.
I'm turning it the wrong way. There we go.
And our curling cream. We were intentional to release these 3 products first because as a part of our consumer research before we launched the brand, the #1 complaint from parents of boys was just having a simplified process and system to help with daily styling. And so we created our products to really follow the LOCK method, which is liquid oil cream, to ensure that you're starting with a wetting agent to really moisturize the hair, using the oil to really nourish the curls and helping it grow, and then you're topping it off with the curling cream to really define those curls. And then in the fall, we launched, due to high demand and request, our shampoo and conditioner. So we call this our wash set. Again, a easy, simple weekly regimen to wash and condition your son's hair.
I don't have anything to add on top of that. That was lovely done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Go, Candace.
All right. So remind us all, what does exit look like for you?
Yeah. So I get to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So for us, the main thing that we're really concerned about is how are we driving impact? As Cora mentioned, we started with this being surrounded and because of our son Kay, and we really think of how can we leverage this platform to really impact Black and brown boys across the globe. So for us, we do see that, one day we hope to become a big and a large personal care brand that may be acquired by one of the large players in, but we do want to keep creative control with it. For us, that is really big because we know that we want to have that authenticity that's very impactful and needed for our community. And we think by us being invested with our son, in addition to, really just being from the community and being able to tap into the community, it gives that longevity and authenticity that the consumers desire from their brands.
Awesome. And what is the age range that you're focused on with the product?
Yeah, so, our whole product line is really focused on how we're growing with a boy from a very young age all the way to his first shave when they think they're too grown. So really, we're all the way from 0 to about 15, 16. To be quite candid with you, when we first launched our products, we used our son across all of our marketing, which he was only 3 at the time, 2 or 3. And so we skewed very young. So we got a lot of first-time moms in there that were buying these products asking, well, what do I do with my son's hair? And so we tended to go a little bit younger, but now recognizing that we are now starting to age up by having a diverse age range of males in our photos and our marketing materials. And then what we're actually really excited about is the fact that we started in hair care because we realized that there was the immediate gap and need there. But we really, as Stefan just mentioned, want to become that personal care destination for young men of color. So starting in hair care, but moving to skincare. So think about face, which automatically that ages you up. We also want to do body and skin. And so those are some of the new products and innovations that we'll be working on and launching. But the goal is to really be that leader in all things personal care for young men of color.
Awesome. All right. Who's up next?
Brian?
I've got one about just rabid customers. Those are always the ones you want. Those are the ones that are tweeting about you, talking about you, sharing on Facebook, right? Who is that for you? Who is the people that you find are just the ideal cohort for your customer, for your company?
Yeah. No, I think it's a great question, Brian. And, for us, I think it's the one thing that Cora and I always built the company based on is representation. And I think we've had such an underserved community for especially parents of young boys who have never been able to find products for their son or felt like a product authentically represented. So when we have so many parents that are just like, oh my God, I wish my son was still younger. I wish I have a new parent. You have people that have kids that are 30. They're like, I'm still going to get my young teen stuff. But it's this mentality that really, truly represents that in a world that truly neglects and most of the time overlooks Black and brown boys, that is something that you can intentionally hand to your child that they can feel like this is representative and for them. So those parents go extremely hard for us. They share it with other friends. They always showing us love on social and just really uplifting us and more importantly, uplifting the mission of what we're trying to do. So, we have primarily moms, but we actually, as I always like to tell Cora, the dads come up and show up as well too. But for us, it's those parents that truly just want better for their children and want their children to have the confidence to show up in however they choose to. So we're just hoping to deliver a little Black boy joy via bottles.
I think for you, but also again, for the folks watching at home, you can have a situation where you have like a personal care desert, right? Where you are literally surrounded by products, but none of those products are for you. So when you do see that one product that is even in a Target full of other products, it really resonates. And it seems like you guys have a chance to be that for people.
Yeah, we remember that very first time walking down the aisle before we even got in the store. And as Cora said, as a first time mom, and you guys can tell I haven't been down the hair care aisle in a while. But for us, it was very important to see and go and try to find something that was for our son. And we saw a sea of reds and oranges and pinks that were on the shelf, and we saw nothing that was for our son. And he came out with a head full of hair. And I think, Cora was so impassioned by it of like, I don't want to just give my son something that was for somebody else. He deserves something that represents him. And I think for her, it just sent her down a path that just, really brought this company to life and really just allowed us to, realize that we weren't alone in that pain that we felt. There were so many other parents that had that. So, yeah, it's, we talk frequently in the community about food deserts, but it's also from a product desert standpoint as well, of really trying to create something that stands out.
Thank you.
Excellent team. So as a reminder for those of you watching, if you have any questions or comments for Steph and Cora, throw it in the comment box below. I can already see team, just like your first episode, there's a lot of love for your team in the comments. People are very, very excited about what you're building. My question to you is, what does education look like for you and your products. I know I have a 13-year-old brother, and if I were to say, "What's your curl regimen?" he would look at me like I'm crazy.
The case for a lot of people, actually. No, so I love that question, and it's so great that you say that, because we recognize, we launched these products and we were saying, oh, it's so easy, it's just 3 steps, but people are like, what do I do? So we are now creating more educational content intentionally now. So we've created some tutorials. We're working on new blog features that will come out every other week. We are doing newsletters now, weekly campaigns, just providing those educational information and tips and tricks to be able to communicate that with our customers and our audience. I think, the question that we always get, which is so hilarious to me, especially for a parent that has both a boy and a girl, is their hair the same? Yes, it is. There's no difference between a girl's textured hair and a boy's textured hair. It's just remembering that boys need to take care of their hair too. So the same routine and regimen that you do with your girl, also teach that to your son. It is very important that he too moisturizes and nourishes his hair. So that's our main message, is like, keep that same energy for boys and young men, because they need their grooming routines as well.
Absolutely. And it looks a little different than, the Just For Me cassette tape that we used to make.
Correct.
That was the thing.
Candace, remember that?
Oh, I'm of the age. Like, definitely on when I was a kid, and I used to sing that jingle, and I definitely had the box. And my hair would be burning. So yeah, I remember.
No more burning heads.
Yes.
So I'm double checking, and I don't see any additional questions. So I think you've answered all of them. Once again, just a lot of love for your team and products in the comment section. Those of you, if you'd like to vote for Young King as the winner of this season, please text the number 3 to 203-408-6432. Once again, to vote for Young King, text the number 3 to 203-408-6432. I see one question from Jay Breath. Really quickly before you go, would you partner with a company like Bevel or barbershops in the Black community for distribution?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And, we look at, obviously, the influence of Tristan and everything that he's done with Walker and Company and Bevel. And I think it's been great to see the level of focus for the adult male, and especially in male grooming, where we typically didn't have products before. I think it will be an honor. We're both here based in Atlanta to partner and work with Tristan. He's sat and spent some time with us before to just really guide us as an organization really early on. But for us, we really think that authenticity is really key. So, if we think about where knowledge actually happens in the Black community, especially for Black boys, that is in the barbershop, right? So it is very much of like, while we're blessed to have those those big main retailers that, in terms of like Target and Walmart, it's also important to make sure that we're in every local neighborhood and every barbershop to talk to, because that's where young men are getting their advice from. Sometimes as though the moms, they wish they would listen to their moms, but most likely they're probably going to listen to their barbers as well. So being able to be in that place and to drive authenticity, we think is super critical. The ground game is as strong and needs to be as strong as the distribution game as well.
Fantastic answers. Thank you so much. Once again, the number is 3 to 203-408-6432 if you would like to vote for Young King. Thank you both. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thoughts? Candace.
Yeah. It was nice to hear them say tonight that they're going to be focused on all other areas, so hair care, skin care, body. Because if I think about kind of like one product, we've talked to many CPG companies, like you have to have multiple SKUs, as many SKUs as possible, an entire suite and I think that this space is ripe for that. So that was great to hear. I enjoyed the language around from like 0 to 15 or from birth through the first shave. Whoa, that's powerful. Like, I loved that because who owns that space? Very few people amongst any demographic.
All brands. Yeah. All demographics. Yeah.
Right. So like, it sounds like they're trying to come for all of it. So I was impressed by that language. And I don't know. It's just, I think that they've seen so much growth over the last year that they are focused on making certain that they're not chasing shiny pennies. So the way that they answered the question about like, who could they partner with? No, really, it's about them being authentic. They will decide what the best path forward is for their company, and they won't just partner for partnering's sake. And I did enjoy that comment.
Brian?
Yeah, finals are hard because everybody's so great. And everything they say is so great. And sometimes you even, in this part of the show, you want to try to find some critical feedback. The problems or challenges with the company are probably just because of stage, because of funding. And as they grow, they're good. All those things they know what to do. They have the aspiration. That's what I love about the company. Like, it's just a matter of time. And oftentimes underrepresented founders aren't given the same amount of funding earlier to have some of these things later. So I'm super impressed. I actually think Atlanta is a great market for them to be based in. I joke oftentimes with people, particularly African Americans. They say, okay, my first locations are going to be New York, LA, and then Atlanta. And I ask them, okay, the first two are the biggest two markets. I kind of get it, but they're expensive to advertise in. Why Atlanta? They're just like, oh, I don't know, it's just Atlanta. Right? They don't always have a good reason. These guys have a good reason. Their cohort is there. The amount of testing, the amount of learning from the customer they can do in Atlanta makes a lot of sense. And they can take those learnings and extrapolate them to Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York, Miami, you name it. And all those places are up and down just from where they are now. So, yeah, I have a lot of good things to say about it. It was late in the day, so you get it.
I do too. I think they've carved out this incredibly vacant white space in this industry that I don't have children. I also identify as a woman, so I've never thought about it until meeting them. But there is nothing on that shelf. And can we just highlight, I think it's Brit To Do's comment that says, so excited for products that will help my older brother advance his product regimen from pink lotion. True story. Like, that is a true statement for so many people. For those of you who don't know, pink lotion is this ancient pink bottle that the Black community has been putting on our scalp and our hair for generations. It's at least 40 years old.
Blue Magic, Jam, Royal Crown.
Royal Crown.
Yeah. That's just not a thing. And I don't know if you guys have seen recently, people are just for me and their eyebrows. Like, this is all around bad. But
no,
yeah.
I don't know that. What?
Whatever.
Why are you doing that?
Let's focus on other things. Let's focus on
okay.
We'll take it behind the scenes.
Okay.
We'll follow up. But I mean, it's true for so many people. We're stuck with these legacy brands that our grandmothers and mothers were using. And for young men, there's nothing created for and or by them. So yeah, this could be huge. So
Lexi, what happens next? Because I forget.
What happens next is we talk about all the companies, what your thoughts and feelings are. And while we're talking, Marlon is secretly tabulating all of the votes for the audience vote.
Okay.
And we're going to figure out what our votes are and crown a winner.
Is Marlon Voice a guy going to say anything? I know his camera was having issues, but is he going to actually be heard on the show this season? Because I don't think he's been on this season at all.
He says
he said
nope.
He said nope. He said nope. All right. I do want to say a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is just I'm starting to feel a little bit of stress. So this is our 4th season of Twitch Pitch. We've now seen 48 companies. This year, we will see at least another 36, which will put us at 84 companies. There's only going to be 7 to 8 winners out of 84 companies, right? So the question is, what can we do? And this is a very much what we usually do at the end of the year, like how do we make a bigger impact? What can we do as a team for these companies that are not the finalist who wins capital? Because if I'm being completely honest, all three of these companies deserve to win. That's it, hands down, no doubt about it, right? And so I don't know if this is hey, we have a campaign to reach out to our LPs. Hey, we just make certain that all of our partners know these are the winners. If we try in 2022 to stand up a syndicate fund for this show, like what does it look like to do more? Because I'm going to feel bad when I give out one check.
I'll answer the question. One, don't feel bad. It's our job to pick winners. And it's also part of our job to acknowledge that sometimes companies are great and they don't get funding or the opportunity, right? It doesn't mean that we have to twist arms around. Everyone's going to get something, right? Now, don't forget, we offer 15,000 other programs and services here. So just because you didn't win tonight doesn't mean that you're not getting an invitation to the Lightship Bootcamp series, which comes back online very soon. It doesn't mean that you don't get an invitation to maybe a special Lightship event at the end of the year during some cool things.
Yes, there's something coming.
Right? It doesn't mean that you aren't potentially invited for maybe an all-star season or a best of season. It doesn't mean that you aren't being served. So I don't think we have to do anything special. I think we do a lot of really great things that are special already. And founders should know, just because you didn't win, not to be Phil Collins, but you're always in our heart. And we always do come back. I promise. It may not be tomorrow, but you always get an email from me about something in the future, whether it be an innovation brief opportunity with the corporation or something else we're working on with the company. Everyone gets taken care of in the long run.
Okay.
So in that vein, I won't say who it is, but I'm reminded of a company that we've supported in the past that is part of our kind of network. They had DM'd me earlier this morning and said essentially, hey, like I'm kind of stuck between waiting for like a PPP and funding is always difficult to get, right? I've got orders coming in, cash crunch. What do you suggest? And I made a few suggestions, including be humble, be real with your own personal network. Tell them what your need is, and the community will provide. If you're willing to say, hey, it's not always crushing it. Sometimes I just need help, right? This was around maybe 8 this morning or so. That founder just DM'd me just now while we're on the show and said, I went to my network and they provided the cash I need. I'm good now. And thank you for pushing me to do that because I wouldn't have done it otherwise, right? And so to Lexi's point, sometimes it's just being part of the network here and asking us a question and us having access to us, right? The finalists we all love, we will absolutely positively be there for them all 100% of the time, I'm sure.
Okay. I'm still going to feel bad, but I thank you.
Okay.
No pressure at all. So, what are you thinking about, Candace? What's going through your mind right now?
What do you mean? Like, who am I leaning toward? Who am I not leaning toward? Like, I don't have any of that.
However you're thinking about it. So I'll tell you how I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about if I were to invest in each of these companies, what am I most excited about? And what do I think are our biggest challenges that we would have to work on? That's how I'm thinking about it. Okay. So I'm thinking with Young King, the biggest opportunity is this huge white space. Our biggest challenge is proprietary formulations and proprietary product. If I think about TheraB, our biggest opportunity is this really cool IP that no one else can have. It's almost the exact opposite problem with them. But the challenge is, okay, sales. We know hospital sales are tough tough.
And
How do we
FDA
fix that?
clearance isn't there yet. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking about the Cocina team, the biggest opportunity there is just the emergence of better for you in frozen is growing very rapidly. Her market and space is wide open right now. And I think the difficulty there is with that, her space also has low turns, and it's difficult to fund those things to exit. So that's how I'm thinking about each of the companies right now.
Yeah, I would say I'm thinking in a similar way. Because we know that these companies will potentially be fund investments, right? That's the goal here. As a seed stage fund, I would say TheraB is a little too early for our seed stage fund. There has to be a little bit more growth on the revenue, product market fit side, and really understanding what sales look like and what the sales cycle will be. Fits all the requirements of a rock star founder, though. Like, hits founder, just smack dab in the middle of the head. But it's just, we need to see a little tiny bit more traction. I agree totally on the Cocina 54 side. The Latin market is also growing and thriving. I think that somehow, like, there's a little bit of a push and pull and tug between like plant-based and Latin food kind of all happening at the same time. And those things becoming mainstream in the same exact moment. Again, the founder is fantastic, but you're absolutely correct about turns in that space and growth, and really the exit multiple can be sometimes lower than what we would want for our kind of standard fund. And then on the Young King side, if I'm thinking about the company, really they're at that, they have 5 products, the shampoo, conditioner, and the 1, 2, 3 product suite. They still have a little ways to go there. They, unfortunately, due to COVID and a lot of things, kind of missed those sales goals last year. And so what can we see this year? How are they going to deal with those supply chain issues? But again, the founders are great. And so, I just have a huge struggle here to figure out.
Brian, what are you thinking about?
I was going to ask you to remind the folks about the voting and how it works.
Oh, okay, great. Actually, yeah, really great time to do that. So the voting here works exactly the way it happens in our investment committee. So I get 1 vote. Brian gets 1 vote. You, the audience, get to peer into our investment committee world. You collectively get 1 vote. And then Candace gets 2 votes. So what tends to happen here is there has to be some majority vote. It does not have to be a unanimous vote. The majority vote will be the winner of the season.
Long story short, if Candace likes it, it wins. If not, then Lexi and I both have to like it. So when you're pitching Lightship on the show or in real life, you're pitching Lexi and Candace.
No, it's all of us.
Look, you're pitching Lexi, because if she doesn't like it, we're not doing it.
You're pitching Lexi. That's
No one sees it. It never goes anywhere.
It'll never get voted on.
Brian, what are your thoughts on the companies?
Yeah, love them all. Same highs, same lows. I think we've had 4 seasons, right? Invested in 3 or 2, right? 2.
Brian, we've invested in 2 of the companies.
Okay.
They've raised $7.3 million collectively.
There you go. So we want to be able to like keep that going, like keep something that we can invest in and going. So I'm going to be looking at them from an investability standpoint, at least for us. And I think that's one thing that Lexi talks about a lot sometimes it's about not your business, but it's about what can we do for you beyond money, right?
Absolutely.
And so what do we know about the space? What are our networks? What are our connections? How can we help to make it better? And sometimes a business is good, but that person can't help push things forward. And so that's, well, for me, I'll look at it with that lens as well.
So as you both,
So will Marlon tell us what's going on?
so yeah, as you both are thinking about your vote, Marlon has compiled the audience vote.
All right.
Marlon, I don't know how you want to do this.
You might as well bring your voice on.
My voice.
Come on,
If I had a
Marlon.
voice like Marlon's, I'd be on the show all the time. He always does that when he doesn't want to come on.
So the audience vote, for those of you that are just listening, is that Young King Hair Care has received 1 vote from the audience.
Okay.
All right.
Who's gonna go first? I think I end up going last, right?
You have to go last. You have to.
Yeah, because
I'll go first. I'll go first this time. I am going to, probably for the first time ever, echo the audience vote and give my vote to Young King Hair Care for the winner of the show for this season. So if you're keeping tally, Young King Hair Care now has 2 votes, and there are 3 still up for grabs. So really, it's still anything can happen.
Yeah, I can happily invest and support any one of these companies, as we keep saying. I have an affinity for a lot of these Latin brands, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna go for Cecilia. I think it's a 800 stores and bootstrapped 800 stores. People don't walk into other people's offices and say, "How you doing? My name's Cecilia. I bootstrapped 800 stores." That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
So for those of you keeping track at home, as of right now, Young King Hair Care has 2 votes, and Cocina 54 has 1 vote, which means, and this is generally what happens.
I don't
I
like
love
you.
Young King. I love Young King. I just want to put it out there.
It is.
I don't understand why you do this to me.
We don't do it on purpose, I swear. It is Candace's vote that will pick the winner. Candace could vote for any of the 3 companies. Ooh, actually, if you voted for TheraB, we'd have to take it to a super vote.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. This is a lot.
People are screaming in the comments, by the way. They're about it.
Oh my God, this is a lot. So again, you all know, like I love all these companies. And there are some things I'd like to do with all of them individually. If I could be completely honest, there's a chain of convenience stores that's 15,000 locations around the North America that I would love to introduce Cocina 54 to. There's a hospital system in Ohio that I would love to introduce the team to TheraB to. And of course, I would love to introduce the team from Young King to the chairman of our board, who is over at Procter & Gamble. He's an executive on loan. And so there's intros that I'd love to make if you all feel like that is helpful or interesting at all. And again, you're always part of this Lightship family. But my vote goes to the team at Young King.
Woo! 25 large.
I've got to send a wire. That's our biggest one yet. That's so exciting.
Big. That's big
So
time.
congratulations, Cora and Steph. Come back on screen if you're still here. We're super excited for you.
I've got blood pulsing in my
Congratulations.
ears. I'm so excited.
Oh.
Here they are.
Thank y'all.
Yes, Jesus. Yay, thank
Look at it, Ray.
you.
We appreciate y'all so much. She's getting emotional.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh no tears.
No tears.
Tears of joy. She did this on our wedding day too. It's okay.
I do better than anybody, and I'll tell you what, I have those tears all the time. So really, it could happen to me at any time. But I mean, really, you too. Congratulations! It was really amazing meeting you. You are building something that is necessary for the Black community and Brown community. It's just really cool that you found this, you know, from your own son, right? Like, so that he sees himself in the world and that he doesn't struggle. So I absolutely love that. Yeah, Cora, that's really cool. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I mean, we've talked about it the last couple shows, but fundraising is certainly hard. And we've bootstrapped this thing, poured in our own money, and have gotten a lot of no's. And so any small win is just amazing. So thank you.
So remind me, have you guys not raised any funds?
No, we have. It took us a really long time.
Okay. But
we have raised funds. Yes.
Yeah, we're here to make that easier long term. It's just an unfortunate truth. That's the world we live in right now. And yeah, it is our job as a team to eliminate that issue for our founders. And so I have a mentor that says, like, every morning he wakes up and every single one of his portfolio companies is running out of money. And so it's just our job.
Every day.
How do we help you fix that? As you know, as long as you're doing the work too, we're willing to put in the work as well. So
yeah,
while it's going to be a process to kind of get through other things beyond this, like we'd like to welcome you to the family and be as much help as we can.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. It's just, it talks about the why. That's what, keeps us motivated every day. And I think, we bless Stephen, and congratulations to the other founders too. I mean, they were equally amazing. And like what we've realized through this journey is like, we all collectively lift each other up. And it's like, everything is, mission before profits is always what we say, like always do good. And then like, by and large, everyone will help to support you along the way. So we're super humble. We're super humbled and appreciate y'all just giving us a platform to share our story with others and impact as many lives as we can while we can.
And I promise I don't cry all the time. I promise. I promise.
Yeah, I do. So no big deal. Yeah, and there's
once we get off camera, then I'll cry.
Yeah, if there's anything I can say about our little family of portfolio companies, I can honestly say, like, most of us have probably shed a few tears together.
Yeah.
Because we are a family. And so there's really, like, just don't feel bad about it. I cry all the time. And yeah, I can't think of anyone that's gone through one of our programs who hasn't gone there at some point. Yeah, this is all about, it's a high emotion business.
Yeah.
Right. Not only is it difficult to like raise money for BIPOC founders, those who identify as women, LGBTQ, those who are disabled, and kind of like beating that drum constantly and having people not believe you.
Yes.
And go, yeah, but there's more of us than there are of you.
Correct.
And you hear people say, oh, that's a niche. It's not a niche. This is most people. Women are.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Our conversation.
And then once you add on Black, Indigenous, people of color, LGBTQ, those who identify as women, the disabled, like all, that's just such a long list of people. So we're not niche. You're niche.
Amen.
I encourage you guys to stay in contact with the other finalists as well. Seeing them grow and seeing them along their journey will give you guys a lot of, one, support, and two, a lot of pride all in each other. So Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
I can't wait to go get some empanadas. I was hungry the whole time we were watching. I'm not going to lie. And then I guess we got to have another baby, but and then go to the hospital, and then we'll work that out. See, that's a longer conversation.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much, team, for being on the show. It's been fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for watching this season. It's a wrap. Thank you again. So we are very excited. So you two, stay tuned in your inbox for follow-up instructions on how to get your prize money and all that good stuff. For everyone watching, thank you so much for following us again this season. This has been season 4 of Twitch Pitch, the very first pitch competition here on Twitch. What happens next? We get to take a little break. So you won't see us again here for another month. So we'll be back in early April. What should you do in that time? In that time, go to our YouTube channel where you see the archived content of all of our previous episodes, especially for those of you who just joined us this season. Go check out the old episodes. It's great bingeable content. Grab a snack, pop some empanadas in the oven, sit down, watch all the previous episodes, get up to speed. What you'll find out is that these two are in great company. They are officially in the winner's circle alongside fantastic companies like Hustle Clean, Undock, the Allergy Amulet, and Provider Pool. So welcome again to the Twitch Pitch family, the Light Chip family. We're super excited to see what comes next. Everyone watching, thank you again. It's been a pleasure. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
When you or a loved one has a food allergy, food can be a major source of anxiety, especially when you're not the one preparing the meal. That's where the amulet can help. The Allergy Amulet is the world's smallest and fastest food allergen sensor. With a small sample of food, the amulet can detect whether your allergen is present. We've designed the Allergy Amulet so that it fits into every lifestyle. Carry it on a keychain, wear it on a wristband or necklace, or store it in your kid's backpack. The Allergy Amulet's first-of-its-kind detection platform consists of 2 parts, the amulet, which is a thumb-sized reader, and a food sampler. Users collect a portion of their food with the sampler, then insert the sampler into the amulet. Test results then appear on the amulet indicating the presence or absence of the allergen. You can also pair the reader with our app to track and upload test results, connect with the food allergy community, and send out emergency alerts. The amulet lets you spend less time worrying, because food should be a source of fuel, not fear.
Are you free? Not if you arrange meetings like this. It's time for a new approach. It's time for Undock. Welcome to predictive scheduling. See mutually preferred meeting times based on your availability and your preferences compared with everyone else in the meeting. Undock suggests the right time to meet without you ever leaving your inbox. It's time you experience the fastest way to schedule, host, and document meetings. Undock makes it easy to connect instantly and share availability privately. Whether you're meeting across companies or across continents, wherever you work, control time with Undock.
What a finale.
Wow, we did it. We did it. This is the coolest thing ever. I'm trying to formulate all my tweets.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to answer a quick question from Jay Brath. He's asking, when does season 5 come on the calendar? Season 5 is going to air on April 6th. So Tuesday, April 6th, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Twitch or wherever you're watching us. So for more updates, follow us on Twitter at LightChipCap, right? I should know what the handle is. I don't. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel here on Twitch, especially. Little pro tip is to get the Twitch app. You can get cute push notifications. So anytime we air something new, even if you're like, hey, what day is it? You'll get a great little notification right before our countdown starts. And you can tune in whenever you're ready. So we'll see you guys then. Candace, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, you got this. How is this show? It really worked out for us, right? So our COVID anniversary date is March 12th. That was the last day we were in the office. And it was directly after that we decided to like start this process of Twitch Pitch. And holy moly, has it really worked out for us. It's allowed us to stay connected to the community. It's allowed us to see amazing deal flow as a team. And it's highlighted for, I think, nationally for folks that there are great companies out there. So I don't know, what I'm thinking is what I was saying earlier is just how do we make larger impact? I know I'll probably never be satisfied, and that's okay. But I don't know.
This show actually was the larger impact, if you recall.
I know, but you know what? We do this every year. We did it when we first started the accelerator. We did it after our first year of doing the boot camp. And so we've launched a fund behind it. We've launched Twitch Pitch behind it. We have other crazy ideas that'll come late 21, 22. But I think that's our job, is to always try to figure out how do we make a larger impact.
And I think for the folks too at home that are still watching, the need is so great. So we have to keep thinking bigger and bigger and bigger. And it keeps being so well received. So then we keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're watching and your support and your love and your tweets, your comments, that all matters.
And everyone, if you're watching, you should tweet at ABC Shark Tank and Netflix and tell them that if they want to create a bigger impact, they can talk to us. We'll figure it out for them.
Hey, why not?
You know, have some fun on the internet tonight.
Good idea. Maybe a little at Ava. Maybe a little at Oprah, right? Maybe a little
Jay Brad wants to know, where are these black snacks you've been talking about, Candace, for the last 4 seasons?
I feel like I just need to reach out directly to Master P and Rap Snacks and see if they can just be an official sponsor. Because he makes nothing but food. Cereal, etc.
I mean, if he's sponsoring, can we get some Reebok gear? Can we get some new kicks?
Did they end up buying that?
It's in conversation still.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Huge.
Bigger checks, more snacks. Thanks. Great idea. Oh, wow. All right, you guys, it's late. And it's late.
It's past everyone's bedtime. There's been a lot of excitement. And so for the last time for a few weeks, it's been great, everyone. Stay engaged with us on social media. We're always there. Say hello to everyone. And until next time, once again, April 6th, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Put it in your calendar, set an alarm, like, follow, subscribe, do the dance. And we'll see you then in a month. Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Bye-bye.